The way we're built, 2 sheets of aluminum with an honeycomb nest made of plastic in the middle. We glue them together and then vacuum it, and then it becomes our walls, ceiling, and the floor. The walls and ceiling are 3/4 of an inch. The floor is an inch. It gives us some different R values, but we're still a 3-season camper. Since we use this kind of material, it makes the trailer very lightweight.
Hey folks, Dayhacker from the Six here, coming to you from Lévis, Quebec, just outside of Quebec City. I've driven all the way up here just to show you some incredible lightweight trailers here at the Safari Condo showroom. And the first one that we're going to look at is the A1752. This trailer has a couple of claims to fame. The first one is it only weighs 2,224 pounds dry. And the second one is that it has a very unique aerodynamic shape with a very pointy nose, an incredibly smooth underbelly, and it's designed to be towable by electric vehicles like your Teslas, but also just to give you better gas mileage when you're towing even with a gas vehicle. So we're going to do our usual routine. We're going to start and walk around the outside, then we'll take a look at the interior, and then finally we'll look at some pros and cons. Let's get started.
Before we dive in, I do need to point out that the A1752 trailer in today's video is a prototype, and as such, anything from interior finishes to the location of the appliances may be different in the production model.
We're going to start on the nose of the A1752, and as you can see, we have a manual tongue jack here. Now this is probably a good time to point out that when you buy a Safari Condo trailer, you're really buying a custom built trailer. So basically, some of the things that I'm going to show you are optional. There's an optional power tongue jack if you want one, and some of the things are going to be standard. I think the key thing to keep in mind here is that you get a build sheet and you pick the features that you want with Safari Condo. So we have a manual tongue jack on this particular trailer. You'll notice that we also have a wheel so that you can wheel the trailer around in your campsite. And you'll also notice that there's some weight distribution hookups here. So even though these trailers all use aluminum frames, you can still use weight distribution on them, provided you use the correct setup. You can also see that we have the breakaway brake cable here as well. And as we come along the front of this very pointy nose, and I'm just going to come back out just so you can see just how pointed it is. It literally comes to a point at the front. And we have our front stabilizer jack. We're going to have stabilizer jacks at the rear as well. And then we have our 30 amp connection. It's the kind that we like, where the cable is separate and therefore there's no hole in the trailer that mice or bugs can get in. Now there's not a whole lot of space back here, but I'm going to squeeze in, and as you can see, we have a very smooth hubcap. So everything on this trailer is aerodynamically optimized. Even the way the spare tire is mounted underneath is aerodynamic. We have an outdoor shower, and keeping in mind that a lot of these things will be optional. This is where the water fill is going to be and your city water connection is. And then at the back there, I believe that is storage. Let's go and take a look. All right, so that compartment is locked, but I did go inside and confirm that this is storage, and you have access to it from both inside and outside. I should also point out this grate, and this is going to be your heat pump air conditioner. So in order to keep things aerodynamic, we're keeping the AC off of the roof and putting it underneath a bench inside of the trailer, and this is where it outlets from. So still on the utility side, right at the front of the trailer, I missed the dump station, and also the drain for the freshwater tank is here. And you can see that they're tucked up inside of that underbelly. So you can see that there's underbelly underneath it. And very accessible though, nice and easy to use. I like the way Safari Condo designs this too, where it tucks up. So I'll show you. So when you're dumping, you can put it down, but then when you're traveling, you pull it up, and it's going to be nice and tucked away. It's a nice feature. And here we are at the rear of the trailer, and a backup camera is an option, so you can get it if you want it. You don't have to get it though. And you can see that we have 2 stabilizers, and we also have the storage for our sewer hose, which is mounted, tucked right up, nice and aerodynamic, right back here. And we'll come around to the campsite now. And on the campsite, we have more storage. And I'll just give you a look inside. I love, you know, my trailer is similar where underneath the benches, you just have these massive storage areas and a nice big door. So you're going to be able to fit your grill in here. You're going to be able to fit whatever, or you can use it as inside storage if you want to, because you'll have access to it on the inside as well. This is the outlet for the Truma Combi. And so that's both a combination hot water heater and furnace. Very quiet, efficient unit. We have one in our trailer. And then of course we have our two 120 volt outlets like you would usually have. And we have a nice grab handle, a single step, very simple design. So just lift it up and it sits in there while you're traveling, and then you just pull it out when you're at camp. And I'll show you on the outside here. We have a screen door, keep the bugs out and keep the air flowing in, which is always a nice feature to have. And coming around to the very front, we have some more big storage compartments. And you can see that our propane tanks would go in here. So you can put 2 propane tanks. It's set up for the 2 propane tanks. And you could also probably store some other items because it is a very large compartment. Because of the pointy nose, it goes right to the very front of the trailer. So you've got plenty of space there for other stuff as well. And you have doors on both sides, which is really nice. All right, let's take a look inside. And we'll give you the lay of the land first. So as you can see on the right, we have our kitchen. And you've got some nice storage up there, a stove, sink, and tons of counter space. For a small trailer like this, it's just a huge amount of counter space. Right across from the door, we have the bathroom. And then we have a nice storage area here. Actually, I think this is where the fridge is going to be. And then at the back, you have your bed / living area. And so this can function as a dinette that can seat several people. It can also function as 2 twin beds, or it can function as an almost king bed. So plenty of space. And then as we look just across around the top, you see that there's plenty of storage. So I'm going to give you a closer look at all of this stuff, and we'll turn around and we'll start in the kitchen. As you can see, we have a nice deep sink, pull-out faucet, and it does rotate as well. Coming around, you'll notice that we have acrylic awning style windows, and they tilt out, so we'd be able to cook here and actually hand things out to people right from this window. But if you're in a situation where there's mosquitoes or bugs, you do have a screen. And then of course, when you're sleeping at night, you do have a blackout shade as well. So just, I love these windows. We have one of them in our trailer. It works great and it's very functional. Gives you a lot of options. So swinging around to the very front of the trailer, we have an induction cooktop. I believe you can specify it with a regular gas cooktop as well. I'll put that up on the screen whether you can or not. And then we have a huge amount of counter space here. Now, not only do we have tons of counter space, but we've got a huge amount of storage. So I'm just gonna head up to the top here, and you can see that we have this netted storage, and that goes all the way around. And then we also have a huge pantry right in the front. Because this is such a pointy trailer, you actually have a huge amount of space here. And so it's just a perfect spot for a pantry. Kind of makes you think that almost every trailer should have a pointy nose. And then as we come down below, we have even more storage. So here underneath the sink, you can see tons of room for pots, pans, whatever you want. And then we go underneath the stove, and again, just massive amount of storage, plenty of space for your kitchen gear. And then finally, underneath that big counter space, and there's even more there. So, and you can see that there's a large electrical package also tucked into the nose here on this trailer. Just keep in mind that those packages, you basically spec what you want. So if you want a huge lithium and electric package, you can get it. If you don't have to get it. We have controls for the solar down here, which most likely would be optional. And then just coming around here, we have the control for the Truma furnace hot water heater. We have a light dimmer switch here. We have the tank and battery monitors here. And we have another light switch. And As you can see, we have USBs, and that is an A and a C, and also an A and a C, as well as two 120 volt outlets. So plenty of power plugs. All right, I'm now standing in the kitchen and I'm facing the back of the trailer, right at the nose of the trailer. And you can see here we have our microwave. Don't believe this is a convection microwave. It's just a conventional microwave, but a nice feature to have. And we have some more storage here, as you can see. And then as we come down, we have a 12 volt fridge. And I guess I should have learned how to open this thing before. Ah, there we go. And a decent size. So, you know, you're going to be able to fit, if you're smart about what you buy, you're going to be able to fit probably close to 4 or 5 days worth of food in here. Freezer is quite tiny. I don't think you're going to be able to fit a Ben & Jerry's in there, but you will be able to fit some veggies, some frozen meat, that type of thing. All right, now we head to the back, and let's start with the overhead storage. And as you can see, we have these sliders. They're held by Velcro, and two shelves in here. They're quite deep too, so I would say about the size of a full-size dinner plate in terms of depth, maybe a little bit more. And sliding doors to access them throughout. Plenty of space to store clothes, you name it. Now this is a little bit slanted because of the shape of the roof of the trailer. However, there is still a huge amount of space here. Just massive amount of storage. So, and it's very deep. I'll give you a sense of it. Just, it's almost my entire arm in terms of the depth of that shelf. And then we have another one of similar to the other side on this side. So now we have the retractable Safari Condo trailer, which doesn't have overhead storage. And I'll tell you, we would just love to be able to have this much storage overhead. Now, at the bottom, it's similar to what we have in our trailer. So we have here, underneath this part of this bench, we have the truma, and you can see there's a bit of a vent there, and then there's some outlets for the furnace right there. And then behind it, we have that big storage area that we saw from the outside. And you can see several ways you can access it. So you can access it with these sliding doors. And I'll just give you a look inside. Or you can access it by lifting the benches up as well. And as you can see, it's just a massive amount of space. And I can tell you, because we have a similar kind of setup in our trailer, right here we can fit all of our clothes for all 4 of us just in one compartment like that. So just to give you an idea of how huge they are. Now underneath here, we have another small storage. We have the air conditioner under one half of the bench, and I'll just lift it up and excuse my hand. And there you see you've got another storage, and there is that door that was locked on the outside as well, which is very nice. Underneath the back bench, we also have another huge area, and just a massive amount of storage. I think this one I would probably use for stuff that you're not necessarily accessing all the time, just because it's tucked way back here. But it is still a huge amount of storage underneath this back bench. Now this dinette also has a neat little party trick, which is in order to extend to the full length of the benches here, it actually comes out like so. And so now I'm just going to back out of here so you can get a look at just how much dinette space you have in this trailer. So I don't think it's an exaggeration to say you might be able to squeeze in 6 people around this table. So loving this design, just a huge amount of storage back here. Now, how do we turn the dinette into a bed? Well, one of these tables, or this table here, is going to span part of the gap, and then you have a cushion here which has no wood on the back of it, and that's going to be your cushion for that part of the bed. And then this other smaller cushion that we have here, it has wood underneath it, and that wood is going to form the other part of the bottom of the bed, and you're just going to put it into the gap. So it's a very simple, easy way to set it up, or you can just leave as is and function with two twin beds if you want to. So plenty of flexibility with the way this trailer is designed. And I will just give you one more look too. You can see that we do have cup holders here, and we also have reading lights with USB plugs on them as well. And we have one on each side of each of those things. Now, before we look at the wet bath, we are going to just take a look at some more storage. So this is actually a neat design, that a little bit different they changed from my trailer. So as you can see, even if you forget to lock it, it still can't open because you need to twist this in order to open it. Anything they can do to keep things from flying open is awesome. And here we have a closet, so we can hang clothes right here. So just in keeping with the amazing amount of storage in this trailer. There we go. And we have a little bit more down at the bottom. Nice sized compartment. Last but not least, let's take a look at the wet bath. So we have a beautiful mirror on the door. And as you can see, I'll put the black tank size. This is a black tank, it's not a cassette. And there's our shower. We have a light up top, and don't see a fan in this one. We do have a nice medicine cabinet as well. Just give you a look inside of there. Very deep, actually. Plenty of space to store your stuff. We do have a cover for the toilet as well, so you can keep it dry while you're taking a shower. And let's do the size test. Keep in mind I'm exactly 6 feet tall. It's going to be close because there is a little bit of a rise to get into the shower pan. But yes, I can stand in the shower, and I would say it's maybe 6'1" in here. No more than that. I did kick off my shoes too, so that's without my shoes on. You will see that they do have a shower curtain that goes all the way around. Not crazy about that, because you know it's going to stick to you. But the amount of space, however, is reasonable. I would probably leave the door open, seeing as how I'm using a shower curtain anyway, and that's going to give me a little bit more elbow room when I'm doing my shower. With the toilet covered, we can put our soap and our shampoo down there, which is very convenient. We do the same thing in our trailer. Now, in terms of using the toilet, and yeah, very spacious for that. So we're going to give the bathroom 2 thumbs up. A little bit tight for a shower, but it's still doable, and I could do a standing shower, which I prefer to doing a sitting shower. And right up top, I should point out that we have a max air fan in this unit as well. So you're going to be able to keep the air moving along with all of these windows, which you can open with screens.
It's time for pros and cons for the A1752, but before we start, I want to remind you that the trailer in this video is a prototype unit, so it's likely that there will be some tweaks to the design in the final production model. As usual, the pros come first, and the first pro has to be the aerodynamic shape. In the A1752, not only will it help owners save money on gas, but it also results in a spacious kitchen with plenty of storage and great views. My second pro is the sheer amount of storage in this trailer. The kitchen, overhead cabinets, and closet already add up to a huge amount, while under the rear benches can function as inside or outside storage. You'll definitely be able to fit all your camping gear in this trailer. My final pro is what I'll call quality and longevity. We own a Safari Condo, and our trailer has been camped in 240 nights so far over 3 years, including as a rental on Outdoorsy, and we've had no major issues and no leaks. Let's hear from the company about how Safari Condos are built and backed.
Hello, my name is François Laforêt. I'm in charge of the marketing and also all the dealer that Safari Condo has. Safari Condo was born 27 years ago. We started by vans, and then 17 years ago, Daniel Nadeau, our founder, decided to create the R series in the Alto. So he started by the 1713 and the 1723 to offer something different. The way we're built, 2 sheets of aluminum with an honeycomb nest made of plastic in the middle. We glue them together and then vacuum it. And then it becomes our walls, ceiling, and the floor. The walls and ceiling are 3/4 of an inch and the floor is an inch. Gives us some different R values, but we're still a 3-season camper. So basically, since we use this kind of material, it makes the trailer very lightweight because basically there's nothing beside air in the middle. Here we have a cutout of how we're making the joints of our trailer. So basically it's an extrusion that we put in the middle. So right here, so basically this is the real joint of what we created. The one you see on the outside, it's just to make the trailer look good, right? And so here, if you can see the way the water should take to get in, is almost impossible for it to come. And either way, as far as water coming in the trailer, if one day you ever leave a window open, well, even the walls, the ceiling, the floor, and the cabinetry, nothing can get damaged by water in here. We've chosen to go with that kind of material to ensure that the shell that is the Alto would withhold all that time. We guarantee the Altos 2 years bumper to bumper, so we add items in the trailer that are very high quality. So we're so confident in what we install in our trailer that we can even guarantee the fridge or anything else that we put in. So for us, we know that the smaller issues will come out in the 2 first years, and after that there's mainly nothing that can go bad. So that's why we cover everything from bumper to bumper for 2 years, the 2 first years.
Of course, nothing in this world is perfect, and there are a few tweaks I'd like to see in this prototype. First, the fridge in the prototype feels a bit small given how spacious the rest of the kitchen is. My second con is the fact that the large front kitchen means that you can't have the full bed and dinette set up at the same time. This isn't a huge deal if you usually eat outside, but it would be nice to have both at the same time. My last con is upfront price. The base price of this 2026 model is $57,359 in Canadian dollars, and this fully kitted out example with air conditioning, 520 amp hours of lithium, 440 watts of solar, and a premium awning rings in at 71,905 Canadian. I won't even venture a guess at the US dollar price given the current tariff situation. Keep in mind though that Safari Condo's good resale value and longevity mean that total ownership cost is competitive with cheaper campers, and of course the ownership experience should be better. When you take it all together, this new A1752 has us seriously thinking about trading in our R1723 because of the awesome kitchen and extra storage. But as long as our 2 university kids keep wanting to come on our trips, we'll stick with our current trailer with its 4 large beds. If you want to check out our R1723, I'll put a link up on the screen. Make sure you subscribe as we have plenty of other Safari Condo models coming up soon on the channel. Thanks for watching and take care.